Hello, everybody. I hope you're getting comfortable. I hope you can all see and hear me. Please reply in the chat or send us some emojis to let us know that you're out there. Fantastic. Love it. Love seeing all these thumbs up, these hearts. We're so glad that you're here. Are you ready to get started? Is everyone ready to get started? I'm ready. My team's ready. Shayla's ready. That's what counts. Shayla is ready. Okay, ready? Here we go. Fantastic. Welcome everybody to 4848's 2024 Social Justice event. We're super excited to have you here today. And I am beyond happy and grateful that you've decided to give us your weekend to give back to our communities. The work we do is so incredibly important and we couldn't do it without you. You know it. So thank you to all our alumni and thank you to all of you who are even new. If you're new, give me a big thumbs up to let me know you're new. This is a first time event for you. Oh my goodness. Amazing. All right. If you've done the event before, show me a heart because that means you're alumni. You're already part of our family and we love seeing you back. Oh, thank you, family. Thank you. Amazing. Look at all those hearts. All right, fantastic. We're going to get ready. We've got a great program for you today. My name is Seema Parekh. I'm the Executive Director for 4848, in case you didn't know. And I want to say again, thank you on behalf of our team for being here and doing all that you're going to do to make this event fantastic and give back so much to the nonprofits that we're going to serve this weekend. This is our 10th year in service, and so very, very proud to celebrate it with you. All right, next slide. We're going to start off by thanking our sponsors. Along with our volunteers, you know that we could not do this without our sponsors and partners. So take a look at these logos for all the sponsors that make this event possible, whether it's funding or an in-kind sponsorship. We could not make this happen without their support. We can't run our organization without these things, so we're eternally grateful for what they do to support our mission. Next. All right, so for those of you who are alumni, and if you were at our women's event back the first weekend in April, here's a snapshot of all the wonderful things that we saw and did. We had Elisa Cremens there, we had Ann Kramer there, we had this amazing entrepreneur women's panel there, and then we piloted a girls program. Fantastic, fantastic, and I hope you were there to see it. If not, you can definitely find it on YouTube and online. Right. So here's our quick agenda. We're going to go very, very quickly to our guest speaker, Sean Riley. He's a comedian and he is going to get us started. Then we'll go to our keynote speaker, Dr. Malcolm Mohammed. Oops, there we go. Dr. Malcolm Mohammed from Rice here in Atlanta. Then we'll get a nonprofit update from Mac, volunteer update from Milan, which all of you should know. And then weekend logistics and closing out will be Shayla Perry, our volunteer program director. Excited to get started, so let's go. Sean, come on. Time for you to show up. So let's go to the next slide. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm ahead of myself. Sorry. I wanted to give a big thanks to Takira Borden, our logo designer. These wonderful shirts that you have are designed by her, designing a world where we all belong. This is really important to us, right? It's inclusivity, social justice means that. It doesn't particularly pick one group. It is for everybody, and we're very proud to serve that purpose. We're also grateful for Gerald Printing for donating the shirts to us. Next slide. Our leadership team. All right, so our leadership team, you guys know Milan already because she's contacted you probably too many times, but don't worry, she means well. Mac has been working with all our nonprofits, and then you'll see our technology support people and our social media intern. So please give them all a thumbs up, give them a hand for all the work they do. We could not do this, 4848 could not do this without all of these people. So thank you so much. All right, now it's time for our guest speaker, Sean Riley. Sean is a local Atlanta comedian. He is here to motivate you, to make you laugh, and I don't know what else. So welcome, Sean, to our virtual stage. Take it over, Sean.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Yes. How you guys doing? Ah, I see the claps. This is like a silent party. This is my first time with a silent party. It's like being on in Facebook Live. Well, let's start off like this. It's a pleasure to be able to be here with everyone. I am excited, and I'm excited for all of you that are here right now because 48 and 48, you guys are now part of a family, right? Because I believe in family. So 7,000, we've had 7,000 volunteers. So now you guys make 7,000, 335 volunteers? That makes you very special. Let's think about it. Let's try it. Start out with this. Let's tap your head. Everybody start tapping their head. Tap your head. Tap your head. Okay. Now rub your stomach. Oh, that got a little difficult, didn't it? That was hard to do, right? Tap your head and rub your stomach all at the same time. It's difficult. It's hard. So that's letting you know it's only few people are going to be able to do something like that, right? So it's important to understand how special everyone on this panel really is. Everybody that's here listening, how special you really are to volunteer your services. Are you taking time out of your life to get up here and volunteer, right? If you look at my previous picture, I've taken so much time out, I forgot to dye my beard. So I feel so this is an AI generated image of Sean Riley. Volunteering. And when I sit down, I really think about it. How many times I volunteered because I worked on Wall Street I was on Wall Street for many years. And one of the most memorable times I volunteered, we were giving away turkeys. And I was just like, man, I got to go down here. I got to give away these turkeys. And it felt so pleasurable just to see these guys, when I gave them the turkey, how happy they were just to have a meal. They were licking their fingers. I felt like, you know what? I need to take some too, right? So I got up in there and I started eating some of the turkey. But I had to sit back and see how happy people were, right? I wasn't supposed to take a piece, but I got like a little leg. If you ever had a real turkey leg, you're going to be, you got to take a piece of the turkey leg. Right. Everybody in here done stuck a turkey leg before. I see the laughing. I know y'all. I wasn't the only one that volunteered and took a little bit, right? Now, look, when you think of this soup, so when I think of you guys, right? You think I volunteered a turkey. You guys are volunteering tools that are necessary to help a small business that doesn't have the means to be able to create a website. Do you know how powerful that is? How many families that you guys are helping right now? Just think about that. Just think about what you're doing and how much you're able to give, and you're giving back, right? And that's the important thing, is to be able to give back. Like myself, I'm from Brooklyn, right? I'm born and raised in Brooklyn. My family's from Trinidad, right? My mom is from Trinidad. But my mom always told me, she said, hey, listen, at the end of the day, life has a purpose. And if you're not helping anyone, then what are you doing in life? That was deep. That was deep. This went from me laughing to some deep stuff. That was pretty good. You guys got that on tape, right?
Yeah.
Really enjoying this. Can we do this? Can we do this next week? Hey, look, there's some people from Trinidad in here. I just saw the flag. Trinity bone, right there. That's the accent. So I'm telling you guys this, right? So that's one of the things that my mom always used to say to me all the time. And it was just like, you know what, mom, what are you talking about? But then you realize it, like just helping people. So, I played football. So when playing football, they always used to have this cliche statement. How many of you guys play sports? Let me see a little thing pop up, because I like these little things going, this interaction. Let me see what's going on here. Anybody? How many play? Here we got one thumb. We got a clap. All right, you got a clap. Anybody want to tell me what sports they played? What sports did anybody play here? No? Let's see. Okay. And somebody said does bad at sports. I'm sorry to bring this back to you here. We supposed to, basketball. Okay. Gymnastics, tennis. Okay, you played soccer once. See, that's what I'm talking about. They played soccer once. Did you just read this? They played soccer one time. That means they were in the park and they just kicked the ball. They didn't have a goal. Like, this is amazing. I really like this. So what I'm getting at, have you ever heard the saying, one band, one sound? Mm-hmm. Yeah, right? Mm-hmm. Here all the time, they go say, one band, one sound. We're family. Well, when you start really thinking about that, and you start seeing how you really start breaking this thing down, and you really listen to what that statement says. When you think of a band, right, you got so many different instruments, right? I had to take a pause for a minute, just think about how many instruments are involved in a band. So you sit down and you say to yourself, you got somebody that's playing the piano, right? You got somebody else that's playing the drums, boom, 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 boom. You know, by themselves, they're special, right? They have a unique talent. Then you got somebody singing, right? Depending on what genre of music you like, they may start singing, right? Then you got somebody screaming. If it depends on what genre of music you like, they might start depending. Then you might hear somebody mumbling, depending on what kind of rap you like. Blah, 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 the new rapper. Sorry. I don't want to. I know there's millennials here. Right? Then you take all those pieces and you put them together, and then you get this beautiful song. And you keep playing this melody over and over and over and over and over again. But what made that song beautiful? Every individual that was part of that band, right, took their unique talents and he put them all together to create this beautiful song, right? That was a deep thought, right? Do you guys like that one? That was pretty deep. So this is a true example of how important you guys are that's out there today. I mean, I wish I could see all of you guys, but I'm loving the comments. I'm loving you guys snapping in. I'm loving every moment of this. Like I said, we're one band, we're one sound, and we're here for the cause. So if you're motivated right now, tell me, let me see something. Show me you're motivated.
Woo!
Hey, look at this. Look at this. Let it rain on me. Let it rain.
Oh, I love the huggy face.
I got huggy faces. What's the last time you got a huggy face? Right?
Too long.
It's a beautiful thing because it's all love. All of it's all about love. And that's what we want. It's aside from we're not just looking at, oh, I'm just taking out my time, I'm just volunteering, I'm just doing this. You spreading love to the world. We're laughing with each other. We're enjoying oneself. Look at the comments. Look at the teeth on that smiley face. That's a special kind of emoji they got right there. You see this thing? Are those veneers that they got on it? How do you get my teeth? These are real, by the way, Doc. You listen. I never had a cavity. You know, look at that. That's what I'm talking about. Everybody, just understand again, one more time. I want to keep saying this to you guys over and over and over again. You're very important. You're very special. And you're just very necessary to every single thing that we're doing. All right? Everything that we're doing. Yep, I seen another clap too. I seen another clap. Keep clapping. Are you enjoying yourself out there? Look at that. You got all the different hands. Look at all the thumbs, all the people. I feel the love. Like I said at this silent party. There you go. There you go. There you go, the hearts. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Are you with me? I want to hear my pain people on top. Like, are you with me?
Yeah,
baby. Yeah, with you.
I need that interaction. I'm like popping through their screen right now. They're like, yo, who's the guy with the cheeks? Yo. I'm really enjoying this. I'm having such fun doing this. Okay, guys. But we're not gonna keep running over time. I'm not gonna hold you guys hostage. Everyone, let's go. Look at those exclamation marks. And you know what's cool too? I could tell that we have so many different types of people here, so many different age groups in here, right? So many different ones. Like for me, for instance, I believe that the younger generation, you guys deserve a lot of credit. You deserve a lot of credit. The millennials, the Gen Zs, you deserve a lot of credit. Because you guys are the only people that can argue through text message and take it serious. Because if I send a message, it's all caps. Believe me, right? I just forgot my cap on. I didn't know that I was yelling at you. I was unaware, so please don't take it personal. Please don't. Please don't. Listen, it was a great time with you guys. I enjoyed every moment of this. I appreciate the fact that I'm here, and I can't wait to meet some of these panelists in person again. And you guys out there, please continue to do what you're doing. You're special. Believe in yourself. Believe you're special. And one day, you too will be able to tap your head and rub your stomach at the same time. All right. It was great. You guys have a good one. Let's go. Let's go, team. Let's go.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much, Sean. Thank you so much. All right. So on with the rest of our program. Next up, as soon as our deck comes up, we'll be ready to go here. And it's not because I forgot what's on the deck this time. I know what's on. Okay, it's our keynote speaker. So I'm very happy to extend a warm welcome to Dr. Malcolm Mohammed. He's Vice President of Data at the Data and Impact at the Russell Innovation Center for Entrepreneurs here in Atlanta. So I'm going to hand over the floor to him, and please show him as much love as you've shown Sean, and so he can share what he does with the organization and share a little bit more about himself. So quickly, here we go.
All right. Thank you, Seema. Thank you to the 48 and 48 team. I'm truly honored to be here. We're going from a comedian to a data nerd, so I know that's quite the switch up. But we're gonna try to keep the energy going. I want to get started again just by thanking the 48 and 48 team. I've just recently come to learn about the organization, just through my conversations, talking with Seema, and the more I learned about it, the more I got to get familiar with what it is that I love about it, and I really, after reflecting on it and thinking about it, I can really sum it up in one word, and that one word was impact. So you heard Sean mention 7,000 volunteers, 1,400 nonprofits that that this organization has worked with over 10 years, right? So celebrating 10 years right now. So can we give it up for 10 years? That's amazing work that's being done. But that's real impact. And think about the 30% returners, right? That shows that there's real impact being had. That shows that people see the value in what's happening here. So please just continue to give it up for 10 years of work, 10 years of impact for the 48 and 48 crew. Let's give some more kudos to Sean. He had me over here laughing at dudes talking about veneers. Man, I thought I was gonna get on here crying still from laughing at those jokes. So I appreciate that. When Seema told me that I was going after a comedian, I didn't say nothing, but I was secretly a little bit mad at her about that, because I'm like, how you gonna put me up here after this comedian to talk about all of the boring stuff that I'm gonna get up here and talk about? So I went back. I was telling my girlfriend, I was like, I'm gonna keep me a few jokes in my back pocket too. And she was like, please don't. So I say all that to say, you have now entered the no joke portion of this program. So let's get into it. So impact, right? So I always like to start my talks with the key point, right? I don't want to leave no cliffhangers or leave you guessing what I'm gonna talk about, right? I believe that we all have been placed on this earth to make an impact. So what I want to do today is first start by sharing my job at the Russell Center, right? So if you don't know about the Russell Center, I see a few people in the comments that have been talking about the Russell Center. So thank y'all for that. I look forward to seeing y'all in the building. Come say hello to me. My office is down, and if you ever been in the building, I'm down in the basement. I call it the dungeon, me and my dungeon family. If you ever are in the building, or if you have not been to the building, please come and take a tour. It's a beautiful facility. We love visitors. We love to tell people about the work that we're doing, because it's all about impact. We are a business community, for those who are not familiar. We provide curriculum, we provide coaching, we provide community to Black entrepreneurs to help them go from just an initial idea all the way through to a global $1 million scaling business. And we serve all businesses in between that, right? And so really my job at the Russell Center as that data nerd is to really be able to measure our impact and report our impact. So just a few key nuggets I'm gonna throw out there to you to talk about how we talk about our work, right? So we just recently either got close or across the 500 stakeholder mark, right? Can we give it up for 500 Black businesses that are trusting us to help them with their business to grow their business. Those people really trust us, and we don't take that for granted. And a few more stats. So out of those 500 businesses, how are we seeing the growth of those businesses? So one way that we're seeing that is those businesses are sustaining over 2,100 jobs here in Atlanta, right? So out of all of those 500 businesses, they're accounting for over 2,100 employees that they are hiring, paying, providing the income, providing the salary to really contribute to the economy in Atlanta. Again, talk about revenues, right? So out of our 500 businesses in 2023 alone, they generated over $89 million in total revenue combined. So we're doing really, really strong work at the Russell Center, and given all that, we're still just at the beginning of our growth trajectory of our journey. The Russell Center opened the doors in 2019. We had that break for COVID, so the doors closed for a year, opened back up in 2021. So we really just been going strong for, maybe 2-3 years at this point. So I really, when I look back at the work we've been able to do, I can be proud to say that we really are truly making an impact. And then the way that ties all together, right? So again, in my work, heading up the data and the research, I was able to work with the Atlanta Regional Commission, and we just exchanged some data, and they put it through some of the models that they have. And we were able to conclude that between 2020 and 2023, the Russell Center has added $450 million in economic impact for the Fulton County economy over that 3-year period. So again, just give it up for the Russell Center. I wish my team was here. Give it up for impact, and give it up for yourselves for being here, for being impact driven, for being willing to make that impact. But I want to go a little bit deeper and go a little bit beyond the numbers, right? Because what I love most about the Russell Center is the people that I work with, right? So beyond all of those stats that I just rattled off, what gets me going every day and what keeps me coming back, because believe me, it's a lot of hard work, a lot of metaphorical blood, sweat, and tears, right? And sometimes some real sweat and tears. I haven't got to the real blood yet, but you never know that place. But what I love the most about it is the people, right? The people keep me going. The people really have this mission, right? They have their own reason for working as hard as they do, right? We all have our own impact story, our own reason for wanting to get up and give everything we got to the Russell Center organization and Russell Center work every day. And so I really want to just express appreciation for the people that make up the Russell Center team, and really truly show that impact really boils down to people, right? And so when we talk about what you're here to do today, you're here to really make an impact. And so what I want to do is share a little bit about my own impact story and really hopefully leave some lessons around how you can make the most out of, being impactful and making this opportunity that's in front of you over this next weekend really valuable for you. So I'm just going to go through a little bit of nuggets from my past that kind of helped me define my own impact story. So I'm from this small town called Inkster, Michigan. I don't know if anybody ever heard of that. It's 20 minutes outside of Detroit. So if you are from Detroit or familiar with Detroit, you might have heard of Inkster before, but even still, you may have not, because it's literally a 16 square mile town on the outskirts of Detroit somewhere. So shout out to Inkster. And coming up, there was 2 things that, after reflecting, I can say that really shaped my, I said, okay, Tamika, just talk about your Inkster. Okay. I got one person. That's all I wanted, was one person that knew what Inkster was. So, I got 2. All right. Now y'all got me hyped now. All right. So the 2 things that I learned from, my upbringing, right? One, so if you know about Inkster, Inkster, it's a low income area, right? And it has all of the same symptoms of what you would typically expect of an area like that, right? So I personally was blessed, right? I had 2 parents that really went above and beyond to make sure that the barriers that exist in places like those didn't hold me back from being exposed to opportunities that this life can provide. But that, unfortunately, that can't be said for everybody, right? So I know, people that my age, people that were close to me that didn't have food at home, that parents didn't have jobs, that even my age that went to prison, unfortunately, right? So all of those barriers that you can at some points kind of attribute to their surroundings and to the environment where you grew up, I was really like acutely aware of those things at a young age. And at the same time, right, I talk about my parents and I talk about my dad a lot. Shout out Kiana, know where Inkster is. Y'all making me feel real loved right now. My dad, is an entrepreneur, right? So part of my impact, part of why I do what I do is because I love entrepreneurship. I love the power and the potential of entrepreneurship to really help us overcome those barriers. And that comes from my dad, right? My dad is a baker in Detroit. He still is today. And some of my earliest memories are riding around with him, delivering cookies and cakes and pies to local coffee shops and food stores. And he used to, talk. My he's one of those wise talking dads. So everything he say always got a little bit more weight to it. And so what I remember from those conversations we used to have in the car, at a young age, was he used to preach ownership. He used to preach controlling your own destiny, getting your share out of this life, right? And so if I take those two things in conjunction, right, all these barriers that I'm seeing people have to face, at the same time I'm learning about entrepreneurship and seeing entrepreneurship as a way out, I see that as really the foundation of the impact that I've been put here to have in this life, right? I believe that, and I still to this day believe, and it kind of makes sense why I ended up at the Russell Center, that entrepreneurship is a route for us all, right? And so when it comes for me and my impact story, I got to reach as many entrepreneurs as I can to help them see that they can control their own destiny and reach whatever goals they have, and change whatever circumstances they face through entrepreneurship. I jumped around a lot, right? How I end up in Atlanta. I'm gonna skip through just real briefly and kind of touch on that a little bit. I went to undergrad, FAMU in Tallahassee, and I learned more about impact while I was there, right? So again, just kind of trying to shape my impact story, right? In Tallahassee, I talked about the low income environment I grew up in, right? So I got to Tallahassee, I'm seeing kids at FAMU my age. I'm like, people actually got money out here. I didn't know that. Like, I thought it was normal to grow up the way I grew up. I didn't think nothing of it, but I'm seeing, oh, people are not all living the same way that I'm living. So it was like a culture shock for me. So that was the one thing, is being exposed. It was so important. And I feel like if I can help other people be exposed to what's possible, that's an important part of the impact that I can have on my life. Right. So fast forward again, if you know much about FAMU, there is the business school at FAMU is called the School of Business and Industry, right? There's the dean that kind of founded and created was named Dean Sybil Mobley, and she's a renowned, prominent figure in FAMU and in the corporate world, right? And so, if you go through the FAMU Business School, the idea is that you're going to be set up, right? So, long story short, I saw a lot of my peers come out of FAMU, be set up at places with high level corporate jobs, right? Places like Coca-Cola, Miller Coors, Salesforce, all of the big companies. Coming through SBI, you get exposed to that type of stuff. But for me, that just never was for me, right? Like that corporate lifestyle, the corporate way of thinking, those types of opportunities never really stuck with me, right? So I'm going through that pathway, and I'm recognizing that, I'd rather zig from everybody zag, right? I'm not really trying to go down that same route that everybody's trying to go down, right? And so that's where I learned about, really being an independent thinker and sticking to what I really believe in my gut instead of doing something because I see everybody else doing it, right? And I think that's another big piece of impact, is being able to think independently and understand that when you have that opportunity to make impact, you have to take the opportunity for what it is and do what you feel is right. Again, I'm skipping through fast because I'm trying to be aware of time, right? So the next stop was Louisville, Kentucky. I love Louisville so much. I can really consider all these places a home, right? And Louisville, that's where everything really started to kind of take shape for me, right? So Louisville, I did my doctorate at the University of Louisville. I learned about, perseverance. I learned about faith. I learned how to stick through, all of the obstacles, right? So anybody ever pursued a doctorate before, the dissertation process and all of the political things that can go into that process. And it's a lot, right? I'll just leave it at that. So being able to face that resistance and endure is really that last piece that I want to touch on impact, right? So let me bring it all home in terms of like how we should think about impact and what it really means to be here right now in this position that we're in, right? What I just did was reflect for you, right? And so the first thing that I think about when I think about, how somebody can really take hold of their impact story and be driven by impact is you got to define it, right? And that typically is not as obvious and apparent as it seems. You really have to reflect. And that's why I wanted to show an exercise in that, right? Like, because if I was to be put on the spot and try to describe my impact and why I'm here and what my purpose is, it would take a lot if I hadn't taken the time to really think about the path that I've gone down in my life and how it shaped me, and how much things really are not in our control, right? And like what's meant to be is going to be. And so you got to really reflect on the patterns that you see in your life to define what you're really supposed to be doing and what impact you're supposed to have. The second piece is I talked about gut, right? I talked about, being an independent thinker and zigging from the zag, right? It's you really got to trust it, right? When you see everything happening for everybody else around you and not necessarily happening for you, you got to trust that following your impact is going to take you where you need to go. So you got to really stick to following it. And that takes me to my last point, right? At the Russell Center, I truly believe I have my dream job right now. I truly believe that I'm doing exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. And that really drives me to get up every day and do whatever I need to do to be successful and really to help the entrepreneurs that we serve be successful, right? And so the last thing I want to say is you got to take it seriously, right? When your impact takes you to where you're meant to be, take it seriously, commit, give it everything you got. And that's what I want to leave with you here in this 48 to 48 weekend. You have an opportunity to really make an impact. These organizations need you. These organizations are doing great work, and they have gaps that your skill set can fill. So take that seriously, right? This is your opportunity to really make an impact that can last forever, that can last for generations and generations. So as you think about this opportunity in front of you, I just want to leave you with one question. What are you going to do with it? Thank you for your time, and I want to turn it back over to the 48 and 48 team. Thank y'all so much for having me.
Thank you, Dr. Muhammad, and thank you, Mr. Riley, for starting us off here. My name is Mac Hodges. I'm the nonprofit relations manager at 48 and 48. I deal with everything related to our nonprofits and getting them ready for this event. And that's what I'm here to talk about today. I'm here to talk about the 48 wonderful nonprofits that we have ready to receive a website during this build. So one thing I wanted to highlight is the current reach of these nonprofits is over 30,000 people. That is people that they have impacted in the last year. And that is already absolutely incredible. This small group, less than 50 organizations, has a multiplying effect touching over 30,000 people's lives. That's incredible. And it's even more incredible when you take into account that once they have a website, once they have a few years under their belt, this reach will only grow, in some of their cases exponentially, allowing them to help even more people. And our goal this weekend is to provide them the tools to do that. So we're super excited for this cohort of nonprofits. They are already doing great work, and we are going to look to help them do it even better. So a few other quick notes about them is the top 3 categories of these nonprofits are community development, education, and human services. And 45 of these 48 nonprofits either were founded by and or primarily serve people of color. So we have an incredibly diverse, impactful group of nonprofits here. And they're all super excited to be participating in this event. Some of you may have already met with your nonprofits, but if not, you'll get the chance to meet them real soon. Awesome. Let's go to the next slide here, please. All right. So one of the ways that we look to give back to our nonprofits is we have a roundtable this evening with Tanya Kelly. Tanya is an alumni of 48 and 48, and she got her site built a few years ago and absolutely made the most of it. And so we bring her back to some of our events as an example of what you can do with a 48 and 48 website. Tanya has received grants. She has used the website to leverage herself to positions that she never expected. She's a huge fan of 48 and 48, and we are a huge fan of her and what she does and her organization, Empower Our Youth Foundation. So that is something we'll be doing this evening in the roundtable, as well as letting the nonprofits meet each other and ask any questions about the build weekend. The other thing that we're going to be doing this weekend, which is on the next slide, is the impact labs for the nonprofits. Some nonprofits say that this is the most valuable part of the weekend for them. The value here cannot really be understated. We don't want to just give the nonprofits a website and say good luck. We want to really set them up with the tools and the knowledge to make the most of it. And we have three wonderful speakers, Denise, Gregory, and Christy here, who will be talking in their area of expertise to the nonprofits. This is happening tomorrow, but anyone is welcome to join. We encourage you to join. These are incredibly smart people, and they're very excited to share their knowledge with us. So if you're able to, please join this. It's a great opportunity. And with that, I will turn it over to my best friend in the whole world, Milan.
Thank you, Matt. Yeah, I'm sorry. I wasn't expecting that. I'm your bestie. Oh. Hi, everyone. My name is Milan Richard. I am the Community Engagement Manager for 48 and 48. So yes, you probably have received many, many, many messages from me. And I just want to say welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so happy to have all of you here for such a meaningful cause. And I can't wait to continue engaging with all of you throughout the weekend. Just like Mac, I'm going to give some focus on about our volunteers and what we have going on. So first off, I want to highlight our planning committee. First of all, a huge round of applause, please. So our planning committee, they have committed over 10 weeks to help bring this event to reality. We've had 23 members who met weekly on Fridays. And I want to say a special thanks to all our subcommittee leads who said yes to me and took extra commitment to lead each committee. We have volunteer recruitment, nonprofit recruitment, social media, and many more areas just to pull off this event. So round of applause to them. And again, thank you so much for me. Next slide, please. So I wanted to highlight some of our top volunteer organizations. So we had two groups from Facebook, Black Women in Project and Program Management and Black Women in Technology, who was the simple pleasure of someone just posting about their excitement about 48 and 48 and the opportunity that they had to others, which brought a lot of people who came to our registration and registered, and a lot of them are here participating in the event today. So I want to say thank you to those who lead those organizations, those who are in those organizations, and those who continue to share about what we do in those organizations, because that's how we bring exposure to 48 and 48 and just other orgs in general. So thank you. If you don't know about them and you meet their criteria, please request to join, and I'm sure they'll be happy to have you. The other two orgs I would like to highlight is Hands on Atlanta, which is a volunteer organization where we get a lot of our volunteers from as well. And of course, one of our top companies who always come through, which is IBM. I just want to give another big thank you to them for continuing to expose what we do within their organizations and companies and just bringing awareness to 48 and 48. So thank you. Next slide, please. So my favorite part, we have so many companies that were represented in this event. Within our last count, it can honestly be more. We had 208 companies for this build weekend. I just wanted to say thank you to all of those. If you see your company highlighted, but I want to say thank you all who registered and came. I just wanted to point out that if you don't know, a lot of companies do match donations, and some even match your volunteer hours. So I would suggest that you all, look into it. It's a great way to support 48 and 48, but also it's a great way to support the nonprofits whose websites you'll be building over this weekend. So please, if your company does a match organization and you are willing to bless us or another or the nonprofit you're working on, I highly recommend you all looking into that with your companies. Again, so many companies represented. Thank you all. And we're happy to have you all back for next time. We can continue. Also, so we had a lot of colleges and universities this event. We had about 13, could be more, but we had 13 the last time we checked. This is really impactful to us because college students they're our next people. I'm Gen Z, they're Gen Z. Some of them might even be another generation that I don't know about, but we're going to be the next people in charge and next people taking over. So I really want to say thank our college students who are here and representing their colleges and universities. I ask that those who are working with them, that you are patient with them, you mentor them. This is a great opportunity for them for networking and just getting more exposure in the relative fields that they signed up. So, woo! And then we can continue. So we have a wonderful panel that will be happening tomorrow evening. It's our panel that we call the Understanding Belonging. We have 4 subject experts, Shantae, Artie, Omar, and Tavon, who will be coming together and has agreed to coming together and present on the importance of belonging in the workspace, belonging in the world, and just like I said, overall belonging. They are DEI and belonging experts, and I really suggest that you all take a break around this time and join this panel discussions to listen to a really insightful discussion that I believe is important to our world and to us individually. And then we will move on. Okay, so lastly, I'm very excited to introduce a really special woman. She started volunteering with us at our 2023 global event. She's been very impactful. She was the EPM at our last women's event, and I'm honored to, I was able to watch her and really wanted her to be on our leadership team for the social justice event. So I'm so honored to have her, and I want to say thank you, Shayla, for all the time you dedicated to us, and I want to welcome our program director for our social justice event, Shayla Perry. Let's give her a round of applause.
Aw, thank you, Milan. It has been such a pleasure being PD for this event. As Milan mentioned, I started as a volunteer for 48 and 48 for Glow 23 back in October. I had never heard of the organization, so I was kind of mad about that because I'm like, I've been missing out because I love the mission and the goal of 48 and 48. And so after my first event, I was tapped by the program director for the Women's Build event, the last event we did in April, to be the EPM. And then from there, I was chosen to be the PD. So I was honored to be chosen for that. And I give special thanks to SEMA and the 48 and 48 team for believing in me, but also showed you how much I love you guys, because I retired from events after 13 years. And when people ask me to do an event, I say no. But for this one, I never can say no. So I am just so happy to be able to provide my event management skills, as well as now I'm a project manager, well, program manager. And I'm able to just come in and just help where I can. So I thank all of you, and shout out to all of the volunteers, but most specifically the Build team volunteers, the PMs, and all of you. I adore just everyone that is contributing to this weekend. So as we head into the next slide, so our program operations leads, these ladies were special. When I took on this role, I absolutely had to tap these two, Crystal McMullen, I'm sorry, and Letisa Solomon. They were my backbone through this entire process. Build team members, these are 2 ladies. Make sure that you are assigned to the very team that you are on. They made everything happen, and I give special thanks to both of them for all that they have done up into probably this opening ceremony. Some of you just registered and we got you on a team. So thank you, Crystal and Letisa. Next slide. And here, the amazing EPMs, our event project managers, make this thing go. I'm just going to call all of you out individually: Amber, Angel, Charity, Crystal Former, Alita, and Shayla. We have another Shayla on the team. Yay! And me and Shayla both went to Florida State. So I know we have a Rattler, that our keynote speaker. So hey, cross the tracks. But these ladies have been amazing. Build team members, you are in such good hands with these ladies. A lot of them are veteran EPM. So I've learned a lot from them in my short time coming and volunteering for 48 and 48. And Shayla and Crystal Farmer, they are new EPMs to the organization, and they've jumped right in and done everything. And a special shout out I want to give also, everyone has been helpful, the EPMs, but Miss Charity, today when I just got swamped and so much was going on, thank you so much for just stepping in and making sure that I was good and that everything was good on my end. So I appreciate you taking time out from your teams to check in and make sure that I was good. So next slide. So weekend logistics. So as you all have seen from our previous slides, we have a packed weekend, not only with you building your teams, but we have some wonderful roundtables, as Mac mentioned, for the nonprofits. Our team, Build team members, you're not, it's not mandatory to attend, but if you want to attend, you definitely can. So you can get more insight on nonprofits and all that 48 and 48 does. You also have your EPM and PM check-ins throughout the weekend, just an opportunity for us to check in on you, make sure you're good. If you're ever having any roadblocks or anything you need all weekend long, make sure you reach out to your EPM. You all have heard from me pretty much from the past 2 weeks. I have an open door policy. Ping me, email me, whatever you need. I'm here for you. And also we have our impact labs. And the fun part is on Sunday, you guys are going to be so happy when Sunday gets here, but we'll talk about that at the closing ceremony. But on Sunday, when we finish our website builds, we will be judging. And judging, of course, it's everybody does a great job. So we're not judging who does the best. So we don't want you to put pressure on yourself. But pretty much we do look at the top 3 websites as well as honorary mentions as well to ensure that we recognize those that have put in all good hard work and made some amazing websites. At 4:15 on Sunday, we'll do networking via Zoom, and then we'll close out again at 5:30 for a closing ceremony. So make sure you are present so we can give you all a wonderful thanks as we close out this wonderful weekend. Next slide. So for our weekend support leads, many of you have already started seeing many of these leads in the help support in the general event channel. So for accessibility, we have Sarah, we have Greg for SEO, and our wonderful help desk team. When you are in that help support Slack channel, they are making things happen when you're asking questions. And of course, we have lovely Vicky QA on Sunday. When we hand the websites over to QA, Vicky and her team, they go through those websites and make sure they're looking good before we hand them off. And of course, all of the platforms that we use over the weekend, such as Slack, which is our big communication tool, make sure you have your notifications on. Feel free to turn them off at night because I know we ping all day long. I'm going to ping you some more, but make sure you stay tuned into your Slack channels for your teams, that you're registered for WAHI, which we will also utilize as a platform to stream our opening ceremonies and some of our connects and networking as well. And then of course, your wonderful Trello boards. And if you guys have any questions outside of all of our weekend lead supports, make sure you also reach out to your EPM and your assigned PM as well. Next slide. Vicky, you said who's sleeping? I know, right? Don't scare the new people. We don't want to scare them off. So weekend networking and fun. So we're going to be all work, but we want you guys to be able to play. So as you see here on the screen, we have trivia time tomorrow at 7 p.m. and we have Would You Rather. I might come in and join some of those. I love trivia. So we have fun things planned for tomorrow. And of course, social media challenge all weekend long. Make sure you tag us at 48 and 48 on all the platforms you see here at Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. We love pictures. Milan loves pictures. Also use that social justice event general channel in Slack to drop your pictures as well. Make sure you take a lot of pictures with your team, screenshot. We also judge on that, make some colorful things on Canva, pretty collages. We want it all. So tag us away. We love to see your pictures. And also we have the Kudo board that I know Miss Alita Ross has went in the general channel and linked as well. So if you want to give someone a special shout out on your team or individuals we meet this weekend, make sure you put them on that Kudo wall. Next slide. And as I mentioned, like, share, and follow. And I hope you guys love this slide. This was in my head and my graphic designer was able to get what was in my head on this slide. So I love it. So make sure when you tag us on all of the platforms, use hashtag SJE24 as well as hashtag 48 and 48. So we can also click on those and find your pictures as well. And make sure you share with all of your friends. I heard somebody say that they found us on TikTok. So Milan's going to do a nice TikTok for us. For next event. So get ready. That's what I love about Gen Z. They'll TikTok away. I don't TikTok, but I'll help direct it. So make sure you use these hashtags and follow us on social. And next slide. So guys, it is photo time. So since we're in webinar mode, we can't do a screenshot, but please make sure you go and take your picture right now of all your teams. When you get on your PM and Build team meets this evening, make sure you do a group photo on the screenshot, put your shirts on so we can see these beautiful shirts, and make sure that's when you start sharing them with us because we want to see you. Next slide. And before I say this, my mother, hello, mom, I made it. My mom is watching me. So hi, mom. She always calls and like, what are you doing? I'm doing 48 and 48 stuff. And she doesn't know what 48 and 48 is. So I hope my mom, now you see, this is a big deal, mother. So this is what I've been doing. So saying all that to say, guys, get ready to have fun and let's build. Yay.